Hi, this video is to help us fill in this graphic organizer. We're not going to fill in all the different parts. We're just going to focus on slope and y-intercept, graph, and 2 points in function notation, and then slope and a point. So we'll fill the other two in at another time. Okay, so let's start with the one that we've already gone over, but just as a review, and just fill this in as you go. So how to write equations in slope-intercept form when given, and now I'm in the first box, a slope and a y-intercept. So they gave us an example. They give us the slope is 4, and the y-intercept is -3. So to do that, you just write y equals mx plus b. This is our slope-intercept form, where m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. So then I just plug in or put in the numbers, substitute for what I have. Up here, I wrote -b, sorry. And there you go. So then the process is to write y equals mx plus b, and then substitute m and b, and you'll have your equation. All right, that was easy. So let's try in a graph. So I'm going to zoom this in a little bit so we can see it. So in a graph, we also can find the slope and the y-intercept. And in this graph, the easiest thing to see is the y-intercept. Now, not every graph will have the y-intercept as an easy to read point, but this one does. So here's how we're going to fill this in. So first I'm going to find the y-intercept, which is 5, and I'm going to write that down for b. Then I'm going to find the slope. So I can count my slope this time. I'm going to be going down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and over 1. So the slope is -5. I could have also subtracted the y values, 5 minus 0 and 0 minus 1, and then I could have gotten the slope that way, and that still equals -5. So now I'm going to substitute in the m and the b. So my equation will be y equals -5x plus 5. So our process was, sometimes you need to find the slope first so that you can find this y-intercept, so I put that there. And then once I have those two things, I substitute m and b. So far, so good. So now we're on to function notation. So I skipped over the next box and I went over to function notation. And this one probably looks the most strange, but we want to remember that when we are given function notation, that it's really given to us as an ordered pair, so that the number inside the parentheses is our x, and the function equals the y value. So our ordered pair is really actually in order. -4 is the x, and 11 is the y value. So now I've just changed it, and now it's an ordered pair. See, that was easy. So then to write the equation, we're going to need to find the slope. They didn't give us the slope, but in this case, you should always check your point because this time they did give us the y-intercept. So I'm going to set it up to find the slope. So to find the slope, you subtract the y values. So that would be, our y's are 11 and 3. So I'm going to do 11 first. 11 minus 3. And then the 11 goes with the -4. So -4 has to come directly underneath it. So -4 minus, and the other x value is 0. So -4 minus 0. And now I subtract top y's minus y. 11 minus 3 is 8. -4 minus 0 is -4. So that means the slope is -2. They gave us the y-intercept as one of our points. That's 3. So now we just write our equation. Y equals -2x plus 3. So don't forget then to change it back into function notation so that you have f of x instead of y. So then here are the steps I used. I turned the function to points. Then I used the difference of y over the difference of x formula to find the slope. I found the y-intercept because it was given to us, but it wouldn't always be done that way. And then finally I substitute so that back into the function notation f of x equals mx plus b. So for our last one, we're going to write an equation of a line that passes through a point 6, 3 and has a slope of -2. So this time we do not have the y-intercept, but they do give us the slope, which is -2. So to start this one, I'm going to start with y equals mx plus b. Then I'm going to plug in what I do know. I know that m is -2. I also know they've given us a point, and in that point, x is 6 and y is 3. So I'm going to put y is 3, and then for the x, I'm going to put 6. And then I'm going to write plus b. So the only variable left in my equation is b. So now I'm going to solve. So I've solved for b, and I have b equals 15. So now all I have to do is just substitute that in, the y equals mx plus b, and there I have my equation. So I kind of went over this box because I wrote a little too big at the beginning, but I'm going to fill in the steps down here, and you can copy those. Okay, so first I'm going to substitute in the mxy into the y equals mx plus b form from what I'm given in the problem. Then I'm going to solve for b because it'll be the only variable left. Finally, I'll have the m and the b, and I can put it in y equals mx plus b, and I'll have an equation. Okay, so that's as much of the graphic organizer as you'll have filled in so far. It'll look like this. And we'll just get the rest filled in another day. Thank you.